Yo, what's up guys, Sinnski here with another video. Today we're going to do a quick video. We're going to put all the classes in Conquest of Azeroth into a tier list based on how they perform and how fun they are to play. Now before we get started, I do want to say we are doing a giveaway for Conquest of Azeroth on my Twitch. So if you want to play it and you haven't gotten an invite yet, go to my Twitch, twitch.tv/Sinnski, and put exclamation ticket in the chat for a chance to win it. Again, if you like the video, subscribe, like, all that jazz. And let's get straight into it. So the first thing I want to go with is I want to go with the Ranger. The Ranger, I want to put in like the D tier area. Like it's a really good class. It's awesome, but like the damage is just not there. They just keep nerfing it to oblivion. Like I was like one of 6 people who played Farstrider Ranger, and they literally just destroyed any bit of it being good. Right in the dumps. Like I don't even have a DPS class, man. They like nerfed Brigand. Like I can't, like I literally cannot play it. I literally cannot. Now if the damage was a little bit better in the Farstrider, or there was like the ranged version of their DPS spec, I forgot the name. If that was like buffed to do like decent damage, you know, 2.5k 3k single target, then it would probably be kicked up to like a B. All right, but right there, D is where it's at. All right, Necromancer, I gotta say they're at an S tier right now. They're just super OP, man. Like Necro is just super freaking ooh. I mean, like I've seen so many different variations of like animation Necro, and it is just freaking it's stupid. It's just stupid. Plus Rhyme Necro is just super OP in Battlegrounds. It's like playing a Frost Mage, man. Like it's just super crazy. So I gotta say Necro is gonna be at like an S tier, at least S tier. Pyro, I'm gonna put Pyro at C. I'm gonna put Pyro at C because like honestly, dude, like before ZG like fully released, like they were super OP. Like Slagstone was hitting really hard. You can change into a mini. Actually, you can change into a mini Ragnaros. That's a B tier. Yeah. You can still turn into a mini. I mean, that's sick. That's fucking sick. The only thing is the damage isn't really there, and I haven't seen a lot of the Pyromancer healing. I've heard it's pretty decent, but like nobody plays it, so it's really hard to believe, like, you know, the 1-2 people who do play it versus the whole entire healing populace that doesn't. It's really hard to see, like, okay, if it's that good. But yeah, we're gonna put Pyro at B tier. Cultist, I'll put Cultist at A tier. I'm a Cultist main. The class isn't, I mean, the class is fun. It's definitely like really fun. It's a piano spec, so you're constantly like, there's no cast sequences. You're constantly looking at abilities. You're constantly looking at uptimes and your insanity. I think it's pretty fun, and I mean, I've heard the tanking is pretty good. From what I mean, it looks squishy, but I heard it does what it needs to do. The only thing is that the Godblade DPS spec for Cultist is complete and utter dog shit. They need to do something about that. Like, Godblade sounds, it's probably the coolest sounding class or spec in the game. Like, it just sounds sick as hell. But it just doesn't pack a punch like Corruption does. But I mean, they just nerfed Tentacles. I think they did some other changes and stuff and then reverted the damage back on the Tentacles, or some of it. I don't know what they did, to be honest. The patch notes have been confusing, but I honestly just kind of wish that they just kind of nerfed the Sanity Shield and the Restore Sanity stuff, because I mean, like, that was really where people were getting the giga damage. You were like, Cultists were getting like super crazy DPS every 10 minutes. Other than that, they'd be doing like 4.5k DPS, maybe 5.5 if you were extreme, like really min-maxed for the spell power. But like, people were only doing like 8, 9k, 10k. They were only doing that once every 10 minutes. I don't even know why they fucking nerfed it. God forbid we do high DPS once every 10 minutes, right? Knight of Zoroth, I'm gonna put B tier. I'm gonna put B tier, honestly. Like, the DPS is good. Like, Mythic Plus, like, I can see this class being like super viable. You know what I mean? Like, they got like crazy damage. Plus, if you have Flame Wrath, your Flame Wrath damage is also kind of bumped up because you get that increased fire damage by however much %. So like, Knight of Zoroth with a Flame Wrath is just super OP. It's super OP. It's not worth having until Mythic Plus comes out, but it does still like pack a punch with the Flame Wrath. But other than that, like the war spec is like really underwhelming. Like you think it's gonna be like super dope. They got like a arms warrior vibe to them, but I don't know, man. The damage is just it's like limp noodle, like super limp, like very limp noodle. But the Hellfire spec's good. I mean, the tank spec is pretty decent, I guess. I mean, it's kind of hard on the ads. I mean, like you really don't have a lot of speed abilities and stuff, and like in order for you to pick up mobs AoE, you have to be in the pack in order to do that. So you could use like Shield Gore or Meat Saw, but other than that, it doesn't really have those capabilities that they should have. Starcaller's fucking F tier. I don't care what you say. Like that class is so bad, dude. I could just think of, what was it, Moon Priest, the healing spec, dog. The mana like consumption on that class and the lack of regeneration, like, dude, it's just impossible to play. I've seen one person do good DPS to Starcaller, but I think 99.9% of the populace is not doing it. Like he was doing like 3.8k. I think that's what he was doing on her car. No one else was doing that, man. Like I have not seen one Starcaller be able to do that. I've seen like, yeah, no, Starcaller is definitely F tier. They need to do something with that class, man. That class is horrible. Fellsworn, A tier. Fellsworn's got to be A tier. Like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not the best. I don't think it's the best. Like in terms of what I'm thinking, I heard I've seen the caster DPS spec, and the caster DPS spec is really good. The tanking is really good. They got the movement stuff. It's really hard to see because like I kind of see that class being like a really good Mythic Plus class, kind of like Demon Hunter on retail. But I mean, we can't see that now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like everyone's just running Skullomance. Like it's not really like pushing the capabilities. There's no timer. You know what I mean? But I think when Mythic Plus comes out, I think Fellsworn is going to be super crazy. I think it's going to be a super crazy tank. So for now, we're just going to put it at A tier. It possibly could be an S tier class once Mythic Plus comes out. But I think this is pretty accurate. Shout out Ari. We're putting the Reaper in D tier. That spec sucks. Class. That entire fucking class just sucks. It is so bad. It's such a bad, like, it's not good. It's not good at all. All right. The rotations don't fit. There's no cohesion or synergies. There's no combos you can do. The tanking is mid. I think it could be better in Mythic Plus, but I'm talking more for the Harvest and the Soul Reaper. Shit is ass. They need to fix that pronto. That Reaper probably sounded like the coolest class to play. Like that was probably that and Witch Hunter. Witch Hunter sounded really cool, but Reaper was definitely up there. You're a fucking Reaper. It sounds sick. But the damage is just so underwhelming. And like, I actually have gear on my Reaper. That's the sad part. And the damage is just so mid. Like, it's not even like at the halfway point. Like, we are the bottom of the cloister. We're at the bottom of the meter, all right? Like, it's just, it's so disappointing. It's so sad. Sun Cleric, we got to put S tier. Like Valkyrie and the healing. Sun Cleric, like these, they are so overpowered, dude. They're so good. Shout out Thick Dicks, our Tauren healer for the raid. That guy, dude, that guy can shine on me any day, bro. Thick Dicks knows how to get to a man's heart. Thick Dicks knows how to take the relaxation and put it on you. Thick Dicks really got the technique, man, because he be out here healing like 200 sanity. Thick Dick sees me at 200 sanity, he's healing me instantly. It's fucking incredible. Not to mention, I've seen like ridiculous DPS from Sun Cleric, so they're just an S tier class, man. We're putting Guardian at S tier. They are the best tanks. You cannot, there's no argument. They are the best tanks. If you think you're a better tank, I highly doubt it. Guardians just have the cooldowns. They have the threat potential. They can grab multiple targets. They're literally like prot warriors and prot paladins just mixed together. Like, they're just incredible. Not to mention the bard is super good. I love the bard. Especially as a cultist, I love the bard. But listen, Ascension, if you're watching this, you need to stop fucking nerfing these support classes. They are completely useless if you keep nerfing them. If you don't have a way to show what we're doing uptime wise, like buff wise, we need to do some sort of damage, because we're getting kicked from every single RDF and heroic group that we run into. Like, you need to, oh my god, you need to like make us seem useful, all right? Because I play Far Strider Ranger, I play Bard, and I just cannot stay in a group. And what am I supposed to do with my Ranger? You nerfed all the DPS specs. Son of Argal, the tank spec is just ridiculous. It's basically Guardian Druid. It's basically Swipe Bear. That's all it is. Just Swipe Bear. Thick Dicks doesn't even have a job for a Son of Argal. He doesn't need healing. He has leech, a lot of armor, plus the DPS is just super nice on the Son of Argal. Now, at least, was it like a Pack Hunter or Shadow Pack or some shit like that? It's some DPS spec. Every single time I get a Son of Argal in my group now, they think they're hot shit. It's starting to piss me off. They used to be like a Knight of Zoroth thing, but now it's the Son of Argal, so I don't know what to do about that. Venomancer, I'm gonna put at A tier. I think Venomancer is probably going to be another class where we're going to see a lot of Mythic Plus. Like, their AoE, like, pull grabs is tank, their health, just being a Scorpion. I think that shit's awesome. Not to mention the DPS as well is super good. Healing's good. Definitely the melee Venomancer could definitely have a little bit better. The DPS is also a little bit underwhelming. It was really good when Koa was first. They did the release for 60, but now it's a little bit underwhelming compared to the other classes. But overall, I think Venomancer is definitely an A tier class, 100%. Primalist, I don't even know where to put Primalist. I've seen Primalist do pretty decent in AoE and then completely be dog shit on single target. So I think it's because they have uncapped AoE. Not to mention the healing is kind of like the Dark Surgeon, where you have to melee in order to heal. I'm kind of That's what's really, like, I'd rather just, I don't know. Those kind of classes are definitely not that good. I definitely wanted to see more of like a elemental shaman-esque, or like a enhancement shaman, kind of like you use like weapon enhancements and like the elements to do like crazy amount of damage. But it just feels like the damage is not that crazy when you use the elements on Primalist. So we're just gonna put it at C tier. Witch Hunter, I never thought I would put Witch Hunter at A tier, like, ever. But the single target DPS that I've seen one of my raiders do, shout out Necrom, like 4k single target, and with bard buffs it's like 6.5 to 7k, and it just keeps going up with every bard that you put in. So honestly, dude, Witch Hunter melee is probably the move. Not to mention the tank spec is actually super good, especially if you think about it in that M plus like scene. Like, Witch Hunter definitely comes out. Barbarian, I'm gonna put an A tier. Brutal Barb is just super OP, especially if you have the Cenarian hold weapon. Like, it's just super crazy damage. AoE wise, single target wise, like, I think Barbarian is in a really good place. I think it is kind of confusing that you have to stack like hybrid gear, like agility and strength. That's at least from what I heard, but I know they're primarily agility and that they do a lot of damage. Nothing really bad to say about Barb. Honestly, Barbarian looks like a really fun class. I definitely would level one up and play one. Rune Master, definitely S tier class. I mean, the DPS potential that Rune Masters have, like the Rift Blade stuff, like they're super OP. I think they're definitely up there with Necro to get nerfed. They're doing like 8 to 8.5k. They're doing like 6.5, like 6k to 6.5k, like without a support class in their group. So I don't even know what they're doing. They're up there like so fast. Like, there's like barely any ramp, it seems. So honestly, something needs to happen about that. Alright? Because if the cultist is getting a nerf, they need a freaking nerf, man. Stormcaller, I'm gonna put B. I think they have really good DPS, like AoE wise. Like, I've seen my boy Justly. He's a Wandamancer, but he leveled up a Stormcaller just for me, man. Or Stormbringer. Stormcaller? Stormbringer? Stormbringer, right? Stormcaller. It's definitely Stormcaller. Stormcaller. It's definitely Stormbringer. Ah, it's Stormbringer. It's Stormbringer. It's Stormbringer. He leveled up a Stormbringer just for me, dude. And the AoE DPS that they do is amazing. Not to mention they do have a support class. We haven't tested it yet, but we're definitely going to get a Stormbringer support in the group and just kind of see where it goes. But just basing off of that one spec, I think Stormbringer does bring a lot of potential for like Mythic Plus and some of these raid pools that have like multiple targets. The AoE is just super great. It's kind of like playing Astral Storm on a loon. So if you like Astral Storm build or like Booming Thunder build, Stormbringer is probably the build that you want to play. Tinker healers, I put it C. There's gonna be so many people are gonna be pissed. I don't like the reload concept for any of it, man. Like I don't like the reload concept. I think the like the robots and the deployables, I think those are super cool. But I don't see Tinker being like that, like more valued over like a Sun Cleric, or like a Venomancer. Like it's really hard to see that, but it just seems like oh fuck, I forgot to reload, and then you know. So yeah, we're just gonna put at C tier. I'm sure there's good Tinker healers, but I just don't see like much sustenance in Tinker. Chronomancer, we're gonna put at B. Like it's hard, man. Because I'm trying to like think from like a healer aspect. Like I feel like I've had some really good Chronomancers as healers, but the DPS specs and stuff, they're all right. I think like I've seen Justly, which I've seen him do like a really good amount. Like I've seen him do like 5.5k on his one Demancer, but I just don't see the other classes performing that well. The healing's pretty good. It's pretty simple. It's like your holy priest of the bunch. Like everybody tries to play it at least once, right? And then they figure out that they're not healers, and then they switch off of it. Yeah, that's pretty much where it's at. But I think the Chronomancer is a really good build. I mean, if you can get the Wandamancer, if you can get min-maxed the way that you should, and it just scale off your spirit, like 100%, you could be doing some really good damage the more spirit that you have. Witch Doctor, I'm kind of stuck. I'm putting between B and C. I'll put it on B. I don't think Witch Doctor is that bad. I just think it's, like I said earlier, like it's one of those classes that are really underwhelming. Don't bring a lot to the table, it seems like versus other classes that bring the same thing. So I mean, it all depends on the person playing. I've seen like a couple Witch Doctors you know, hit like the top 4 spots on the meter DPS wise in raid, but other than that, I don't see Witch Doctor being incredibly useful. Remember guys, this is not from a PvP aspect. Like I don't PvP. I think PvPing on private servers is kind of weird, just because like this private server, there's no arenas, there's no, like, you're just doing battlegrounds, and like you're not gonna be doing crow's catch. Like there's nothing to get from a crow's catch on here, I wouldn't think. I don't know. I think honestly, like, the focus is more PvE, and they don't cut it, man. I'm sorry. Last but not least, Templar. I'm gonna put them in B tier as well. They do the spinny boy stuff. The only thing, Ascension devs, if you're listening, the only thing annoying about the spinny boy Templars, dude, is the chinga 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 ching. Like when they're spinning the ching ching. Like I cannot play with my game audio on every single time I have a Templar in the group. You need to change the audio. We don't need to hear it. Just like I don't think people should hear my cultist laugh, like when they're not cultist. They shouldn't hear that. This should be like a player, you know. Should be our audio. But I think Templar is pretty dope. I think it's a good build. Good spec. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the end. I mean, we ended pretty much OP classes in S tier. We got Necro, Sun Cleric, Guardian, Sun Argal, and be Rune Master, and then everything follows after that. I'm not gonna pivot off of what I think about Starcaller. I think honestly, I think Reaper should be in F tier, but I'm giving the Tank Reaper a little bit more credit for Mythic Plus right now, because I'm really hoping when Mythic Plus comes out, they're going to be a better tank. So I don't want to completely shit on the Reapers yet. If you guys disagreed or agreed with anything, go ahead and comment it down below. Make sure you follow, subscribe. I stream every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sinnski. So if you guys want to give me a shout, go ahead. We're also doing a Conquest of Azeroth giveaway, like I mentioned in the beginning. So make sure you guys go do exclamation ticket in the chat there. And other than that, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Happy 4th of July for the American peeps. And be safe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.